I just made $19,073. I'm on the trend to get to $20,000 in sales. And yes, before anyone freaks out, this is the 90-day total. So you have to take out a lot of different factors, but that's how many sales I've made in the last 3 months. And that is literally from zero to this. Behind me is just a little bit of my inventory, and I had a really, really good day sourcing again. So we're back in the Ilio Island store, and I want to show you what I source with making $19,073. And I'm not here to say that I'm like a crazy expert, but I would like to show you what I get. This is 1 day's worth, and then I'm probably going to go grab some other stuff that I got just because these are other sourcing opportunities outside of what I do. So let me show you. For those that don't know who I am, my name's RJ. I resell on eBay and soon to be other platforms full time. And today I'm going to show you everything that I got, and I'm going to show you some other things that I've done sourcing wise that I'm going to see if it brings good luck or maybe just real and it works. I don't know, but we're going to find out. So I'm just going to dive into it. Today I went to the bins probably for, I don't know, I try to show up around the bins around 12. So 12, 1, 2, 3, maybe like 3.5 hours worth of bin stuff. The way that my bins work are a little bit different than a lot of other bins. My bins, they go and do rotations. They say it's every 20 minutes. I don't really know if it is 20 minutes. Should I accept? I just got an offer. Let's see. $8 for a hat. Ouch. How much am I selling this hat for? 10. Ooh, I'm selling the hat for 10. Oh man, I might have to take this offer. Just get it out of the store. So one thing I've been doing is taking offers just for items that I have bought that haven't been the best of items, just to get them moving out of the store, and I can make a little bit of money on them. They're not going to make me rich overnight, but definitely on this side, this is all the newer stuff. This, I was just looking, and I have way more inventory than I do on this side, which is there it is, this is the newer stuff, actually. This side is the older stuff. So as this goes on, I have less and less things, and things get shorter. And they still have a lot of full boxes because they're not as good buys. And I'm sure that in 3 months from now, I'm maybe even looking back at this video and being like, dude, I wouldn't have bought half this stuff. But I'm documenting this. So I'm not going to sit here and act like a subject matter expert. This is just what I'm grabbing based off of the amount of sales that I have. I think I spent $66 at the bins. Got a couple of personals. Actually, I got this today. This is a vintage, what do you call it? Motorcycle. Yamaha. It was a Yamaha. I don't think there's anything on the back. I got that today, and then I got some shoes that fit me, and they were $4. So anyways, subtract that cost. But let's get into it. I'm just going to show you. Some might be actual pretty big bangers, but most of this is all bread and butter. And that's kind of what I like, because good bread and butter items, like for example, I just sold a pair of Lucky Brand jeans, I think for $25. And I'm probably going to make $10 to $15 on those, and when I'm going to the bins, my net profit is way better than thrift stores. So I've just been going to the bins much more recently. Levi 569 loose straight. This is the Y2K. For anyone that doesn't know, this little tag in the middle kind of gives it away that it's Y2K. It's not like made in USA, super vintage, super desirable, but the 569s had a really good sell-through rate. There's a little like nicks in these, and that's fine, but it is kind of nice to get some Y2K stuff because something that has an over, I don't want to say it was over 100%. I almost say it was almost exactly 100% sell-through rate on this. This was a pretty decent bolo. This is called Kodo Paxi, if I'm saying this right. Almost looks like Patagonia or Columbia, but had a pretty decent sell-through rate, and a lot of these sold for the price that I like to get at. So when I'm going to the bins, depending on how heavy certain items are, I'll show you some heavier items. I like to get things that are, gonna be at least a sale price of $25 and at least a 50% sell-through rate. And then I'll have a little bit of flexibility if it's a little bit higher. So if something is selling for $50 and it has a 30% sell-through rate, I ask myself, like, is this worth, waiting? But anyways, so this here, again, one of those like fleece things, kind of, what would you call, maybe like a color patch, but a lot of different colors I could find comps on, but the similar colors did pretty good. So, and it's super light, so had to grab that one. Some of these I actually grabbed in just one rotation. There was a bin full of jeans, and when rotation happens, everyone kind of tries to scout out all the different bins that they want to go to, and there was one right dead in front of me, and I just saw a bunch of jeans, and I can tell certain jeans by the way they look that like they might be good, but that's hard to see just by your eyes without looking at logos. But I got pretty lucky on this. So BKE Stella jeans, I've talked about BKE a lot in the past. Surprisingly, although these are really slim, they have a good sell-through rate, and a lot of them are going for 25-ish bucks, but BKE has like 100% sell-through rate last time I checked in my store. I don't know where it is right now, but it's just, again, one of those bread and butter things. I love putting things in my bag that I'm like, this is gonna sell, and I'm gonna make 15 bucks on this, and I'm just super happy when that happens. Okay, Miss Me jeans. I might have one pair of Miss Me jeans, if not zero pair of Miss Me jeans in my store, but just cannot pass these up. I mean, just good design. I'm gonna do a different photo style where I just show the back pocket for the first photo and see if that kind of helps the sell-through rate of my store at least. But pretty good find on that one. And Mugsy. Right? Mugsy? Yeah, that's how you say it. Two good bolos right next to each other. Mugsy jeans. These are great. This is the Woody's style. I'm not going to read that style, but they're size 36, 34. Always looking for this blue tag. This one's kind of faded, but that's what you're kind of looking for on that. And then the Miss Me, you're looking for bedazzle and the M on the back, but some good bolos. Wow, I'm taking everything with me. 7 for All Mankind. This is a very weird brand. I was just looking today, and my sell-through rate in my store is awful. I don't even remember what it was, but it's so bad for 7 for All Mankind. But on eBay itself, the sell-through rate is amazing. So that's either my photos, my description, my title. I'm trying to figure this out, but this is the Austin jeans. Another really good sell-through rate and great sales price. So I just had to grab it, but we'll see. I'm gonna see why my stores, oh, this is my personal, I changed out of this. Okay, this is another good bolo if you guys are not finding these. So you'll see a lot of these Eddie Bauer pants, and they're just kind of like hiking pants, if you will. They're pretty decent, they're okay. I don't think I have any regular Eddie Bauer. I might from the old times, but I don't know. But you are looking for this. Eddie Bauer First Ascent. The First Ascent pants are always good. They're great bread and butter items. I don't know if I've ever sold, I think I might have a pair of First Ascent shorts, if I remember right. I don't fully know, but the First Ascent pants, bread and butter items in my store. So every time I see that First Ascent logo, I'm grabbing it. I don't even need to look up sell-through rate because I know it's doing good. This one was a good one. I actually was kind of surprised because I didn't think it was going to do as good as it would, but it did pretty decent. This is Polo Golf. It's like vintage polo golf pants, and they're in excellent condition, and it had this little polo patch. For some reason today I found so much Polo Ralph Lauren, and I had to put some back. I really have been falling in love with the brand, but my sell-through rate on my store isn't that good on it, and I'm trying to be more educated on Polo Ralph Lauren. Like those brands, Polo Ralph Lauren, Brooks Brothers, even Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, some of those are one of those ones that I just really need to get more educated on, and I'm working on every single day to just learn what I'm looking for on those brands, because I don't want to just say no to all of them. A lot of those are hit and miss, you know, but there's some, even like J. Crew's a really weird one where most of the stuff is crap, but some of it's really good. And that's what I'm really trying to work through. Banana Republic, as more brands are coming to mind, I'm thinking of them, but that's just kind of how it is. Some of them are really, really good. Some of them are really, really bad, and some of them are okay. And I want to just start to be able to learn and educate myself. So every day I try to take time to just learn about certain brands, whether I'm looking at sell-through rates or just going to high to low, looking at my certain zip code and seeing what people in my zip code is selling under that brand, or even just like filtering like 30 to 60 and seeing if I'm seeing any trends in that. I think that's what happened with the Polo Golf actually or maybe there's a video I watched, but anyways. Okay, this one actually was from research that I did last night. Last night, Nadia and I have been recently going to like a coffee shop that's open really late, and she just sits there and plays video games, and I just sit there and play in eBay and do research. But this is a Y2K American Eagle kind of hoodie thing, and I recognized it. It's like really tight on the actual shirt itself, and then really long and thin, and it has this these, for some reason, people just love this Y2K stuff. This, and I think it was Hollister or Aeropostale or Abercrombie & Fitch, or maybe all of the above. But this type of like Y2K, just like I typed in, I think I actually typed in like Y2K cable knit sweater and saw some comps. They weren't crazy. Some comps I saw the other day were going for much more, but like still, I mean, super light piece with a good sell-through rate. I'm not going to say no to that. Funny enough, oh, not this one. There's another one in here that looks like this. We the Free, another one of those brands that seem to do hit and miss in my store, but the wider the legs, look at how wide these legs are, the better they do. So that's good. A little bit of damage, but still pretty good, size 28. So I grabbed these. Again, We the Free, Anthropologie, that type of brand. Some of them are, again, hit and miss, but you know, just the more trendy, and I understand trends by just walking around and watching kids at the bins, or going to the mall and looking at what people are wearing, or looking at what they're selling at the certain mall, and trying to do the best I can with that. Again, no expert, but that's what I'm doing. So this is Levi 501 3230. For some reason, there was somebody sitting there looking at these, and I was like, oh, they're gonna grab them for sure. And they didn't grab them. I have no idea why. It's the 501 and what you're looking for. So sometimes you'll have a paper tag right here that will say made in Mexico or made in USA. That's always a good one. And then there's another paper tag that's much thicker. I think there's an actual thing that they call it, but this is the made in USA 100% cotton. Another one of those weird brands that you have to learn what you're looking for a year. And so right here on the other side, sometimes they'll tell you like the year and all of that. I'm still trying to learn and get my best I can. Like I said, guys, I've been doing this full time for 3 months and just trying to cram as much knowledge in as I can every single day. So there's people out there that have been doing this for much longer than me that's like, dude, obviously no Under Armour is good at all or whatever, but I'm trying to learn everything I can. There's so many brands, and then there's so many subsectors of brands, and there's so many like bits of knowledge in brands. So I'm doing my best that I can in all of these. This is just one bag, and I still have more bags to go. I didn't look up sell-through rates on this, but I felt like it was going to be pretty good. It was a new with tags, Travis Matthew, and just a small couple logos on the side. So I'm just picking up a couple extra golf stuff as spring comes along in summer. It's just always going to be good to have in my store. You're going to see a lot of spring and maybe even some colder stuff in this haul. The Goodwill bins don't work like how thrift stores work. They just put clothes out, period. And so like for the, you guys saw in my other vlog, I sold those North Face or the Patagonia puffer jackets. And you know, I didn't think that they're going to do that good, but they did good in spring. But it's like you just get what you get. Where if I go to the thrift store itself, they're pushing out because they're a retail store. So they're pushing out much more of the golf polos and the swimsuits and the shorts, and then they're putting aside a lot of the jackets and the pants, and some of those things are going smaller and smaller, where the Goodwill bins I can get. Now, the good thing about going to the retail store is obviously they're pushing out the things that people are wanting to buy, but there's still things desirable, at least I'm hoping. You know, I'm still hoping I'm going to sell jeans over the summer. I'm sure that sales will slow down a little bit, but it should be still okay. So anyways, speaking of which, this one, so I'm contemplating what I'm going to do with this one. So this is a vintage Eddie Bauer just sweater. It's really nice with that like black and gold logo. Super, super nice. So I think I mentioned in last video, I'm getting all my videos mixed up on how many videos I've made, but I have a wedding coming up. And in October, we're going to be obviously doing the wedding and doing our honeymoon. And so what I'm thinking is like, man, if I can queue up some items to get posted while I'm out in the wedding, that would be really, really nice. So then that way I'm not really worried about posting extra items, and maybe just train someone to sell, and it's almost like nothing ever happened in the business while we're gone. And maybe there's a slight dip, but then we can come back and still hit the ground running. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Some people, they'll just keep posting and then they'll go on away mode for the week or whatever. There's a very real chance of that happening, but also like if I get stuff like this that are going to sell extremely well in October, I've always thought about either taking photos of this and just listing it in that far in advance, or just like getting like a bin. I just had this thought like earlier today, getting a section where I can get all of the items that I'm going to be posting for the time. And so it's like if I'm posting 10 items a day, that is, 70 items that I'd need to kind of curate over the next 5 months or so, and then take all these items into list. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. If you have ideas, I'd love to hear it in the comments, by the way, of like, what do you think is the best idea? Just go on vacation mode, not post anything for 5 to 7 days, not ship anything for 5 to 7 days, and then come back. I just get worried of like how big of a dip it'll be by the time I come back. So I just want to be cautious with that. And maybe the dip isn't as bad. I don't know. Who knows? This was in I think this was in the same jeans haul that I got the Miss Me and Muggsy. Maybe not, I don't know. But another pair of cool pants. I seem to find these everywhere. It's just so easy. These are and fun fact, if you don't know how to find the model for cool, the pants at least, they are in the inside pocket. Very weird spot, very hard to take a picture of, but these are the rider jeans. Pants, jeans, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I find cool everywhere, and I don't know if that's a sign that cool is about to not be cool anymore, or if I just happen to get cool because it is a great brand for people in Colorado because they're kind of hiking type brand. I don't know, but I find these everywhere all the time. I probably have so much in my store, I don't even know. Okay, now we're getting actually to the start of the day. So this was the first few grabs that I grabbed today, and I was like, today is gonna be a good day, and I'm probably gonna need to make a haul video, and that's what we're doing. So I found this, didn't even look up comps yet. Don't know if I'm gonna use the keywords as Aztec or I don't know what colors or whatever, but this is the Chinchilla Patagonia fleece. I need to get this listed and posted as fast as humanly possible because these are about to not be good to sell, or not as desirable to sell. But that was a great grab that I grabbed. That was the first rotation that I hit today, and then at the same time grabbed this baby. This Carhartt overall bib, whatever you want to call it, just a great grab. Yes, it's going to be more expensive than all the other stuff because you're buying it per pound and it's much heavier, but holy cow, these are really good. They sell pretty well for me. I think the only one I listed sold really, really quick for me. I remember selling some of these for over hundreds of dollars. I don't know if they still do that. That was years ago when I would sell these. Like one of my craziest ever bin story was, I don't know if I've told this story on the channel before, but not these bins, but there's another set of bins in Colorado that I was at, and I saw the Carhartt bib, and I ran over to it. And they always say like, go to your spot or walk or whatever they say. You go over and you usually hover over the item. And it's kind of a written rule for everybody to know, like if you're hovering over or your hand's hovering over an item, people know like, oh, this guy's gonna grab this and I should move on or I should get something else. And doing that, I grab it and I go and someone else grabs it at the same time and they pull. And it comes out to this tug of war and I'm like, dude, like, give me a break. I grabbed this hours before you freaking grabbed this thing. And at the same time, some other girl wants to get involved with it. And so she jumps in and grabs way late. And it's going back and forth. And this guy's like, no. And he's like, mine. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit petty today. And I said, no, this is mine. And so everybody, now there's a circle around us at the bins. And it starts to create this like scene, if you will. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's going to happen? And so everyone's like, just flip a coin for it. So we flip a coin in the air. I call tails. It hits tails. It's so funny. It's that long ago, but I'll never forget how crazy the story was. It hits tails and the guy lets go. And he's like, okay, fine, whatever. And I'm like, sick. And then that lady is still holding on. And she's like, what the heck? Like, no, I want to get involved too. So I flip it in the air and I go tails and she says heads. So I call tails twice and I just start walking away because I'm like, you are way done with this. But as I'm walking away, it lands on tails and I get it fair and square. So it was really, really funny. But that same bins, I had a pair of Jordans and someone literally stole them from my pile. I just had them. I walked away for 5 seconds and they were gone. So I have not stepped foot in those bins for a very, very long time. The ones that I go to are much better. You still have your grumpy people. That's just always going to be, think about a 9-to-5 job. You have usually one grumpy coworker or a coworker you don't get along with or whatever. That's just the same type of thing. You get those everywhere. But for the most part, to the bins that I go to, I've made some good connections or just like had good conversations, and the workers are nice and stuff like that. Just a vintage Napa hat. I almost walked away with 2 vintage hats, but the other one just did not sell well. I know that this is gonna do okay. It's gonna be decent enough for me to get this at the bins. I just love hats. You can see I have some hats back here, hats right here, hats down here. I kind of take my, just like that, cut it in half, and then sell hats. I have way more hats than I'd like to admit, and the sell-through rates are not crazy on that. I've always thought about maybe doing like a whatnot show or something with all the hats just to move them, but vintage hats are hit and miss, especially trucker hats. But anyways, this, I don't fully know yet. I saw some comps that were okay. It was weird. I saw comps that were like hundreds of dollars, and I saw comps that were like $30, which made me confident to grab this to at least get $30 from. This is like the shoulder pad. I saw Ralph Lauren, and this is a women's jacket, surprisingly. I saw a couple, and like I said, I saw a bunch of Ralph Lauren. There was like one of these that was like a full zip hoodie that was like super nice material. The only comp I could find did okay. It was like $25, but just there was no real good sell-through rate proof, and so I put it back. Where this one had a pretty decent sell-through rate, and being women's was just interesting, and the buttons are really cool looking. I don't know if you can see that, but they're like actual like pony heads that says Lauren on top. So that was pretty cool. And not only that, this was again in one bin. I got another one. This one seems more like an overcoat, again, but women's. I thought I buttoned it up, but another Ralph Lauren green tag. I know that Ralph Lauren isn't as desirable. You're looking for like the black tag or the purple tag, and then that's when your life is going to change. But like, I don't know. I feel like even if I can get $35 for each of these, pretty good. I don't know if it's like a, I don't know, one of those things that I should post later, like I said, because it might do better in October. But like, people wear suits still in summer. I don't know. This one, I debated longer than I'd like to admit with this, but I decided to get it because sell-through rate was okay, but similar to like the Patagonia jackets, there was one listed, and when I used like plaid lined, there was 0 listed and 1 sold. And I think the sold, don't quote me on this, but it was over $100 in the sold. And so it is a Dockers leather jacket. And on the inside, it is like plaid lined. And so, yeah, like I said, I saw a good sold comp, and then there was like a couple other sold comps that still did pretty good. I want to say maybe like $35 and shipping. They calculated for shipping. So I just, for some reason, like I couldn't find a good sell-through rate, and I couldn't find an exact comp. I almost contemplated just giving it to one of the vintage kids, but I decided not to, and I decided to keep it, and we'll list it. Again, might be one of those ones I list later or just list as soon as possible. The Patagonia jackets that I sold in, I think I was showing you last video, sold within seconds. I'm not kidding. Maybe, okay, minutes. But I listed the first one, and I listed it at $300. And after I was done listing, I took my dog out for a walk, and I start getting offers like crazy, like $300, and I was getting $280, and I got a $250 offer, and I was like, oh, this is good. And not even by the time I finished my walk, it already sold, and it was the eBay international shipping program, which was like, heck yeah, that's great. So then I had the purple one. That one wasn't in as good condition. It was like dirty. And so I was like, okay, like, let's just list this for $350 and maybe it'll sit for a little bit longer. Again, the same thing. It's sold when I'm out on my walk with my dog. So that was kind of nice. Okay, next, this was the last grab that we grabbed for the bins today, and then I'm going to show you a couple other sourcing things that I did today and this week that I'm hopeful to get some good stuff. But this is 10X. It's just this really nice vintage camo bib, I guess you would call it. I saw one of the vintage kids just beeline to this thing, and I'm right there, and I grabbed it, and I could see it was like, dang it. And I was like, yeah. Sell-through rate wasn't crazy, but I saw a sold comp for almost this exact one that was made in USA for like $70, and it was actually really priced up high for shipping too. So should be able to get good one on this. Now to the last bit of what I grabbed. Actually, I grabbed this morning, and then I'll show you a couple other things that I grabbed just for the sake of loving to show you what I source. So this was a Facebook Market find. Now, there's a unfortunate story that ties to this, but the first part was, let me just show you what I got. So this is an Ariat denim jeans. This is the Ariat M2. Ariat M2, and it is a 3630. So good find there. And then just a couple of small bread and butter items because I was going to get a good price on them, but I got 2 American Eagle, I think they are the low loose jeans. Yes. So I got this, and I got one other one. Same size. So the unfortunate part of this story, and this is kind of the risk that you run in running or doing Facebook Marketplace. Here's the other American Eagles. But I was going to buy 4 jeans. There were going to be 2 Ariats and 2 American Eagles. And so I was like super excited about that. And I drove all the way down. I drove like a half hour to meet this lady. Originally, I was just going to buy the M2s, but I saw that on her account that she had 4 jeans listed. And I was like, okay, this can make a longer drive worth it. I don't want to drive, because basically it's like thrift store price. She was selling these for $10 each. So it's like, okay, do I want to make an hour drive to get something that I could also find at a thrift store for $10? But when I can get 4 of them together, it kind of makes a 30-minute drive worth it. And then I could just go to the bins at the same time. Well, she showed up and she didn't have the other Ariat jeans, and she said she forgot them. So that was really unfortunate. But the nice thing is she gave me an even bigger discount. So I was going to be buying 4 for $30. And she gave me 3 for $15. So it was still nice. It was still like, okay, like I could see it wasn't her mistake. Her husband packed up her car and then didn't think that he should put the other Ariat jeans in there because it was a different size. But that's just part of the game. It happened. It's unfortunate. But let me show you really quickly some other things that I got today. And actually, I got something in the mail, so it might be ready. So give me one sec. Okay, time for some sauce. I'm not going to give you too much sauce, but I'm going to give you enough to be satisfied. So I found a sourcing opportunity that I've heard of before that you might have too, and you've wondered, okay, is this possible? And I don't know. I've thought about making a separate video for this, but I also thought might as well just put it in this video too, because I think it's going to be really, really helpful. So eBay is a great sourcing opportunity. A lot of people buy like vintage hats from eBay. I've thought about that. You can get, there's a lot of people selling a lot of vintage hats, but seeing on like my Luck with Trucker hats, you'll probably get your money back quick, but you're also going to be holding on to a lot of hats. So I was like, okay, how do I buy the right way in bulk on eBay with clothing? And that's just looking at bulk things. I don't even remember how I came across, but there was one page in particular that I came across some, and I think that you're going to run a little bit of risk. Let's be honest. Some of the risk is you're not going to see everything, especially like when you're buying in certain bulk types. You're getting something where like you see one piece of something that you know you're going to get your money back with, and some pieces might not be that good. So this box here are all bangers, but the box here I actually just got in the mail. I haven't even opened up yet, so I'm hoping that it's mostly bangers. But I got a good amount of stuff in both of these boxes. So the first thing here in this box, it is just a solid little North Face piece, little fleece, whatever thing you want to call it. I saw this brand. Now the sell-through rate on this brand was not crazy, but the sale price on this brand was insanity. So it is called Ivco, IVKO, bam. And pretty good sale price on that. So that alone is kind of what kind of led me over the edge. And then I saw the North Face piece, and then they had a picture like this, and it was just kind of showing this. This is exactly what I mean. It's like in the photo, you're like, okay, what am I about to get into on this? Those two enough were justifying my purchase. I think I paid $25. One thing was like $24 and one was $25. But anyways, $25. Those two enough were good. But then we got another North Face piece. This one's probably the better of the two. So it's kind of nice that they didn't show this, because I probably would have had a lot more bids, but I was the only person that bid on it. So that was nice. On to this next one. I straight up haven't even looked at this one yet. So we're going to be unboxing it together to see. If you guys want to have videos where I do unboxings just like with bulk buys, feel free. Let me know in the comments. Or if you like this where I'm just showing you what I get and how I get it, that works too. I'm nervous The first thing I'm gonna do after this video is make sure that everything is in here. My guess is that it is. It just, in this account particularly, there was like certain things I was like, I swear, unless you have 2 of them, you're posting one thing that has 2. I don't know quite yet, but we are gonna see. Oh wow, these are like nicely bagged up too. Whoa, okay. First piece. Oh, okay. This is exactly what I mean. This was one of those things that you couldn't see the brand. I saw this, it's Croft and Borrow. Not something I'm necessarily looking up or getting hardly ever. I might not even put up sold comps on some of these just because, I don't know, but we'll look them up. But that's okay. Some of these I'm expecting to donate. This one I'm happy with, because here is one of the reasons why I got this. This is a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren purple corduroy pants. So solid. I think I should hopefully get $25 to $30 on that. So it's essentially, the goal is like this piece paid for the whole thing, and then everything else could be free. That's kind of what I was hoping for, but you never know. Okay, on to the next. We've got After Hours. This is a vest. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about that, but we'll see. Some of these things, I don't even think some of these were listed in the photos. Okay, here's the next piece here. Speak of the devil, I was talking about it earlier. Banana Republic, pretty decent. Yeah. This one is not good. I know this one is not good. They showed this one. It is Hudson and Barrow. Not a good piece, whatever. This one, I did not get to see what the brand was. It is Authentic Kawaha something. I'll have to look that up. Green, Hawaiian. I'm running out of time on this, so I gotta hurry up. This one I was the most excited about. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren knit Oxford. This is women's. I thought this was gonna be men's. I almost wanted to keep this piece for myself, so it's kind of nice that it's not my size. But this one should be pretty decent. I definitely thought this was gonna be a men's, but great condition still, so we should hopefully do good on that one. What the heck is this? Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the Glatter and Sims. So this is new with tags, and it was listed at $260. What is it? It's a giant dress that would literally fit me. It would be big on me. With a necklace. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with that, but we'll see. I'm hoping I'm not embarrassing myself with this bulk buy, because to my research, I should have get my money back and more. This one is good. This is a Pendleton right there. This is one of the ones that I saw that I was like, hopefully this one shows up. So it did. This is a cardigan. So Pendleton cardigan. And then the last piece here, another reason why I grabbed it. This, another vintage Polo Ralph Lauren, or maybe Y2K. Polo Ralph Lauren, made in Mexico. Pants. So I've sold a pair of these, and I think I sold it for $30. So at least those pants alone should be able to get that solid. And then the Pendleton, I was hoping does pretty good. And I have no idea about that giant dress, but $25 for each. I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Half of what I'm doing right now is honestly just testing theories and testing certain things. Really quick, I was just thinking about the video that just came out, and I forgot that there was one other buy that I got that I didn't mention that I am the most excited about. I forgot how much I paid, but this is it right here. And if you see, there's something peeking out a little bit that was pretty crazy. So the person that made this listing called it women's clothing bundle. And sorry, I got pizza on my shirt. And it was not a women's clothing bundle. It, like, one shirt was, and that's gonna go right to the donation more than likely. But we have The Who vintage t-shirt on, is it the Fruit of the Loom Made in USA tag? I don't know, but I'll show it right here. And then this NASCAR t-shirt that is a great size and a really great print. It just got shipped today, so I didn't have time to put it on. But those are the 3 buys that I got from the eBay bulk buy. I don't know. Those are 3 separate ones from one place. So I don't know. Was it good? You tell me. I don't know. I'm willing to risk $25 if it means that I could have the potential chance to make 60, you know, and that's kind of what the goal is for that. Now the bins buy is great. These bulk buys, I don't know. You let me know if they're good or not. Someone just emailed me actually saying that they do bulk buys themselves. And if that's something that you do, I'm more than welcome to look at it. I am being much more strict on my bulk buys. I'm not just buying things. I almost made a video about a bulk buy that it was like 30 jeans. And I'm like, slow down, RJ. Like 5 of the jeans I really wanted and the rest of the jeans I did not want. So I said no to it. So that is what a store that's almost making $20,000 in gross sales for 30 months. What am I saying? That is what an almost $20,000 in sales stores is doing to get inventory. I'm only getting better at this. I'm hoping that that wasn't a terrible buy. This SD card's almost done. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. It's kind of a similar video from the last one, but consider subscribing. Reach out to me if you have more questions. I've been loving the engagement that I'm getting in the comments. And that is all I have for you guys. You guys have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.